Excellency, the Prime Minister of Côte d'Ivoire, Honourable Minister, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I also would like to stand on protocols observed. My name is, please permit me, I will make my address in English. Good morning, my name is Solomon ASSAMOAH, and as mentioned, I'm the Vice President of the Africa Development Bank, responsible for infrastructure, private sector, and regional integration. Let me start by thanking all of you for coming today. The purpose of today's seminar and conference is to use the wonderful occasion of the opening of the Konambedia Bridge to hold a wider discussion on structuring and financing options for building road and bridge projects in Africa. As we will hear today, the KB project is a wonderful example of the public and private sectors working closely together to finance a landmark infrastructure project. How did it happen? How was it structured? Who were the parties? What were the key issues that had to be overcome? What was the key role of the government? And most importantly, what lessons can we learn for the future? All of these questions and more will be discussed and hopefully answered today through a series of expert speakers with impeccable credentials. I would urge all of you today to listen and ask probing questions of the panel members. You will unlikely have such expert experience assembled in one place in the near future, so take full advantage. I'm sure they will not mind. Let me first, however, set the stage with a few introductory remarks. Firstly, why is transportation so important? And why is it important to involve the private sector? Transportation is a critical component of development, growth, and quality of life for citizens. It is a key enabler for people and countries to achieve their potential. Unfortunately, transportation systems are expensive to build, operate, and maintain, so it is increasingly important to supplement stretched public budgets with private sector finance. But how do you attract the private sector? How do you ensure that the balance between the public good and private sector search for profit is balanced so it's fair once again to the government and the citizens? Well-structured public-private partnership transactions can attract private operators, even in difficult markets. And all the funding, the technical expertise, and the managerial skills that the private sector brings to build and operate transportation infrastructure can be unlocked for the benefits of ports, roads, bridges, and urban transportation systems. Let me just also say a little bit about how our transport public-private partnerships doing in Africa so far. According to the World Bank, the top 6 countries in volume of transportation PPPs in 2013 were number 1, Brazil, number 2, China, number 3, Nigeria, number 4, India, number 5, Mexico, and number 6, Honduras. In 2013, these 6 countries attracted over $28 billion US, representing 85% of transport PPPs commitments to the developing world in 2013. 85% of the world's transportation projects went to emerging markets. Brazil attracted the highest volume, followed by China. Sub-Saharan Africa attracted the 3rd most investment in emerging markets with over just under $5 billion US, or 14% of the global total. That tells us that there is a market in Africa that we can tap. The third point I wish to raise is, what is the enabling environment and to move forward and help states finance their transportation infrastructure? I think a few points that I would mention. An enabling environment with good legal and institutional frameworks adapted to support PPP project finance. One of the experiences that we have learned over the years is that a good, solid first transaction can lead the way to further transactions. If we make sure that the environment is correct for one, others will follow. Second point that is important to note is that there needs to be a good understanding of who takes what risk and the sizing of the financing needed. I always say to ministers when I meet with them, you have to attract the private sector, but be careful that we do it on the right terms. If you listen just to the private sector, they will be very happy to tell you to take all the risk and they will take all the profits. But at the same time, the private sector will not come to a project based just on good words or good intentions. They have to make a commercial return. That balance is right. Give the private sector what they need, not what they want. There's a very important difference. Another important point to make is that there needs to be an early dialogue and support from strong financiers, including the international financial institutions. And I must say that this project has managed to attract and assemble the strongest group of financiers that I've probably seen on any project in Africa. And that is a testament to the will of the government and also the flexibility of the government during negotiations. The other point that's worth mentioning is that there needs to be engagement of local participants as much as possible. The days of outsiders just coming in and telling local people what's good for them is really over. There has to be a true partnership, true involvement with the local community, the local financial sector, and the local people. The next point that I would make is that you do need experienced project financiers to help you, experienced legal practitioners and experienced technical people to make sure that the structure is correct and sustainable. To close, I would like to just say that the number one thing that is needed is strong political support from the government of the country. And I think every single project across the continent can learn from the strong support that the government of Côte d'Ivoire has given to this project to make it move forward, and the strong contractor, Bouygues, who came to this party as well. I think their experience, their know-how, as well also contributed to the success of this project, as well as the group of financiers. So Mr. Prime Minister, Minister, distinguished guest, I hope you have a fruitful day, and we at the African Development Bank are extremely proud to be involved in this project. Thank you very much.